I don't want them to succeed on any level from cutting even one penny from Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. I will vote in such a way that is designed to prevent that from ever happening as an outcome for the rest of my fucking life. As far as I'm concerned, I have presided over an era in which the Republican Party has engaged in the politics of brinkmanship in an effort to get cuts to government services that I would rather burn the United States to the ground than I'll ever allow it to enact, you know? And that's my true sentiments about all of this. I'd rather not have a country than have a country that pushes forward the social security agenda that Mitch McConnell is trying to push. And to senior citizens who actually buy into the Republican spin that they're trying to fucking save Social Security, no, they aren't. They're not trying to save Social Security as you know it today, at least. I mean, the fact checkers will get all dispute worthy about this, and they'll say that, yeah, well, technically they are, but what they mean when they're saying this is that the technicality it comes out in this way, where it's like Republicans want to turn Social Security into a hollowed out shell of its former self and retain the title Social Security. So, yes, technically they're not trying to end it. They're just trying to cut it by such a huge amount that senior citizens will be forced to eat cat food in order to survive. I mean, that's the reality of what the Republicans want to do, and what the Simpson Bowles plan was. Basically, it was the cat food commission, and it was fairly dubbed. That will be all they'll be able to afford, basically, um, for their own meals. So I mean, they want to turn Social Security into a hollowed out shell of its former self, and that's how they want to go about saving it from itself and from um, the God. Social Security faces insolvency related issues, in the future because of the fact that the trust fund is being depleted, basically. Um, these guys, they are so dead set against tax increases and ideologically opposed to it that they're just knee jerkily be like, no, you can't do that. But the only solution I'm willing to embrace, as far as Social Security is concerned, is an axing of the payroll tax cap. In fact, you know what? The Democrats will say reduce it. I think it should just be outright eliminated. But I'll take what I can get as far as that's concerned. But yes, the payroll tax cap is way fucking too low, and really it should just be outright abolished so that there isn't a cap. But that they're trying to make sure that they're the only ones that they're really going to advocate in the Democratic Party, reasonably speaking, are probably going to be raise the cap, not eliminate it. And I would still say that they should abolish it. So my frustration with the Republicans is economical too. It's the fact that I have watched Mitch McConnell basically work systematically to put the Democratic Party and the Democratic officials in a game in which they can either comply with the idea of severe cuts to services against that the most vulnerable depend upon, and to throw the most vulnerable Americans overboard, or they're going to throw the economy off the cliff. Basically, I've watched Brinkman politics where they have leveraged the threat of refusing to raise the debt ceiling in order to basically push them to enact drastic cuts to the system, and using anything on their disposal in order to fuck up and sacrifice an entire block of American citizens. I've watched all of this in stunned horror. I've watched the shutdowns literally end up pitting Meals on Wheels against furloughed workers in a desperate attempt to downsize the government and cut it down. And none of this I support in any way, shape, or form. I'm opposed to literally all of it. Um, because of the suffering that all of it will cause as a consequence of it. Maybe it's second order consequence, but it's still a fucking consequence that ends up manifesting as a result of these actions. in the people that will be harmed as a result of this course of action. So I don't, I'm not in support of any of it, but I've watched the disgusting brinkmanship politics that the party has been up to, and you're all up here like unreasonably asking me why I fucking hate them. Well, they did these things, and so now I literally want to run them through with a fucking sword and just laugh gleefully as they bleed out and die. And then basically I would be proud of it, but unfortunately it's illegal and I'd go to jail, so fuck. I won't do it, but it would be lovely to actually do it. I mean, I would spit on their grave. I would go and tell the courts, if I didn't have things that were worth living for, I would go into that courtroom and just say, "Yeah, I'm proud of it. I did it. I'm guilty, and the world's a better place without this fucking scum-looking boot, scum-looking, you scum-looker, you know, alive anymore. He was a fucking disgrace to humanity and cheapened the course of the world, made it a worse place, and now he's dead and gone. The world's like, why are you trying to persecute me for doing the right thing? It doesn't make sense. And I maintain that yes, I do know the difference between right and wrong, and it was wrong to allow that man to live. So, I did the right thing in killing him. So, I'm not sure what your problem is here, and that's how I would look at it. And it's incredibly discouraging, really. That there are these people that are coming up here like, why are you so violent? Why are you so angry? Why are you so upset? Why would you say these things? Why would you say these extreme, over the top things? Well, it's because that side of the political aisle has done things that are so disgusting and awful that they literally deserve the words. Like, they earned the hatred. I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Like, why? you know that they didn't, we didn't get, but the thing that you don't understand is that we didn't get to the point in which I would gleefully wish that they were dead and gone, you know overnight. The arrival there was a gradual process that took long-term observations of what the parties were up to. It took being an observer that had my eyes on the Rhine the whole fucking time, and now I think the only good Republican is a dead Republican, and the only good conservative is a dead conservative.